I'd like to know if, from your side, if you have been a Super Mario or a Nintendo fan of some sort in the youth, and what do you think of this product can bring some memories from the original Lego and Nintendo fan?
Oh, so let me start with the first bit. I did actually I did not have a NES when I was a kid. I did not have this one specifically. Actually, I had a Game Boy, and I played
Okay.
hours and hours and hours on the Game Boy, and of course there was also Super Mario on that. And I still remember, literally having pain on my thumbs from pressing the buttons and running out of batteries just before the end of so that was definitely a lot of my childhood spent on the Game Boy. So that was my childhood memory. And I did of course have friends, and then later in life, I got to play a lot actually on friends' NESs, or we actually also have one in the office, of course. Now specifically for this project, we needed to have one. So,
Okay.
what I think it will deliver for the adults is who has played this either on the on the NES, or who have played any Nintendo game featuring Mario, is that it will bring back the memories of sitting in front with the controller, or with the game, or in your hands with the buttons that come so natural, and then just thinking the music almost immediately just starts in your head, even though it's not around. You would just hear what you would expect. It brings that warmth of that childhood memories just to life, and then it combines it with bricks, which for me was also a big childhood passion, which I'm working in now. So that's just for me, this is just like a dream come true, really. This combination.
Me too. I had a Super Nintendo and a Game Boy,
Yeah.
but I had a
Yeah.
friend who has the NES with
Yeah.
the gun also.
With the gun. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you maybe planning to make some accessories like the gun,
Um,
or?
so of course, I can't specifically tell you what we have
Okay.
in plans. We of course have tons of ideas, and we always think towards the future. But what specifically we plan to do, I can't
Okay.
disclose here about that.
How long did it take to create the final product from scratch, from the first sketches to the product?
um, Sometimes that's difficult to pinpoint, because you could say from when we had literally nothing, that doesn't exist, because there's always somebody who has already some idea or some starting point. But
Okay.
let's say when the project was briefed on coming up with an adult product to go along with the 6 Plus toy line that we have. From that moment onwards, that was, I think, that was September 2018.
Okay.
That's
So
when
I
we
hear more than a year and a half.
exactly. And then of course, we didn't know exactly it would be this specific outcome. So we had a lot of different options we worked on. We shared those options, of course, with our partner, with Nintendo, got their opinion, and also did specific tests with the target group. So in this case, adults, where we showed them different options, and asked them questions, and saw their reaction of what they liked most, and that's those two combinations. So our own, or three actually. So our own feeling from the design team, the test results from the tests we did in Germany and the US, and then of course our partner Nintendo's input. That's what made us choose for this one specifically. But it came out as a winner from all angles, in that sense, where everybody was convinced it was a great idea. So.
Okay. How many, I can say, final prototypes did you create in the whole process? Is it, and it was more or less complicated than other classic Lego product?
It is definitely in on the higher level of complication.
Okay.
The amount of models that we made for ourselves, for testing, for sending to Nintendo, for for making copies that went to the robots for testing the mechanisms, all those things. It was definitely higher than usual. The mechanism inside the TV, for example, is quite complicated, and we really wanted to make sure it's maybe not complicated, but super complicated, I guess, depending on where you come from. If you're a hardcore technique fan, you might find this doable, right? Sure. But it does have a lot of intricate mechanism, and we wanted to make sure it would run for its lifetime. So we actually had it tested for a really long time in the robot, where it was really cranked and stopped, and cranked and stopped. So the whole process there, and then we needed to refine it and test it again, and then so the amount of models we made for that alone added to what we normally make, because normally we do already make quite a few copies for ourselves to test how it is to build it, to take pictures of, to send to partner, and so on and so on. So definitely, I don't know the exact number, but we definitely made a lot of copies for this one.
Okay, I saw the videos from Lego on the social media, and the diorama that flows inside the TV is amazing. How did you come up with the idea of making something that dynamic? And if you can maybe tell or show me how the mechanism works.
Yeah, so well, first of all, we did start actually with the NES on its own. Okay. Then the NES, without showing what it does, is we needed to show that it brings a game to a TV screen. That was the first step we were thinking of. And then just a non-moving TV screen is not representing what you would expect. Mario is jumping around, and it's a platform. It's running around on the screen, and the screen actually moves around, right? That's that's how the video game works, and that's what got us thinking, can we actually do that? So then we came up with the idea with the pixelated background. Is ideal for us to do a pixelated diorama or background. So that was the next step. And then we actually challenged, so the designer who worked on it, I was a creative lead, so I was leading the team who was working on this. Okay. The designer who worked on this specific item, and we said, it's great, but now we want Mario in that world and jumping around, according to what's happening in the game. And so, because first we had Mario as a static part, either on the screen or just locked on a certain position, and then that was the next situation and next loop we did. And then in the end, we made it so it actually literally goes over the obstacles, jumping on the obstacles, or going around on the bottom. And then we chose the most iconic parts of level 1-1 that we could come up with, and that's of course together with Nintendo. And we didn't unfortunately have enough space for the whole level.
Sure.
We actually tried it, but then our TV had to be like really deep or really long, which was not doable. But we chose the most iconic items, and then specifically, and that's maybe an interesting detail. For example, we left out the end flag because, and that was an input from our partner also, because they didn't. If you reach the end, you would normally stop the game, and this now doesn't necessarily have an end, so you can actually scroll it quite a long time before you actually realize you maybe have gone back to the beginning and looped around. So there's no specific end, which is on purpose in this case, and also no specific beginning then. So it allows you to scroll and scroll and scroll.
Nice. Is it somehow customizable? Can I choose to place like the I don't know, the clouds somewhere else?
Sure. This is and that's actually when we were designing it, we were sure that the adult fans out there and other fans who buy this will have their own opinion on what should be on the screen, right? We just made our version of it, and we're sure that fans will either want to customize what they have here. So it's a mosaic. So you decide, but of course we provide the building instruction for what we think is an ideal scenario. But if you're creative and you take them apart, or you start your own exploration, it is actually relatively, it's Lego. You take it apart, you place it where you think it's best, and can create your own course. And we actually even we were kind of amongst ourselves talking about in the design team. We are quite sure that this will create new levels that the fans then will maybe hopefully will share with us,
Okay.
and tell us what they think is the better level, and maybe even come up with different levels than this one, maybe an underground level or a water level or whatsoever. There's a lot of options we could think of, and that we haven't done in this version, but we're sure that we'll see passing once this is on the market and once some creative people out there have gotten their hands on it.
Okay, so you mentioned like maybe underground or underwater level. Can you say something if Lego is thinking about add-on, like maybe the pieces for the background, but also maybe the cartridge to put inside NES?
So of course, from a design team, we have thought about those options for sure. But I can, of course, not say if that will become a product or if we have an outlet for that in the future.
Okay.
I think we will have to rely on our own creativity to begin with, because this is what's going to come out, and then what's going to come in the future, that's something that I of course can't talk about yet.
Okay. Is it there the chance to use a motor, electronic motor, to move the background?
And I again, that's something that we did expect from the fans. So it's actually fun to talk to you about this, because I can see we did know that the fans like upgrading or tweaking sets to to make them even better or more cool or exciting. So yes, we do believe it is upgradable. We have made the mechanism so it's actually not too hard to adjust it, but we have no building instruction or specific guidance for it. But again, the design team that worked on this, they knew adult fans would look for it, and the TV actually has the mechanism that sits inside actually would be relatively easy to connect the motor to.
Okay. So not officially, but you
not
thought about it.
No.
Okay. How does the sound activation work? Because if you put the Super Mario on top, it will be like a loudspeaker, right?
Actually, so I'm going to show you. There is an easy panel you take off.
Plate. Okay.
4x10, I think it is. And then you'll have Lego Super Mario, who is not part of this set. I guess you have seen that already. He's part of the start.
Yes, I have.
Of course, when you put him on, he says hello, says Lego Mario time. And so he works, he recognizes colors, right? That's one of his major features. Recognizes Lego bricks colors and translates them. In the normal game that we have, starting with the starter set, he would recognize red as lava, green as grass, blue as water, and so on.
Okay.
But there is also specific action bricks. Let me see if I can show you. So this barcode, that is what we call an action brick. And when he reads that, he does specific actions. It could be the action of a question mark block, where you get a question mark block reward. Here, in this case, it is the action of the TV.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna take off more panels.
Okay.
I can actually show you. And again, this is made specifically because we know if you have this one at home, you actually want to show a bit of the magic to the people who are interested, right?
Yeah.
That's what kind of designed so they come off fairly easily.
Okay.
And so you would place Mario, you would scan the tag, and you would place him here. Of course, he would. I just took off all the paneling, but he would sit quite. He would sit a little bit stable there. And then I can't show it at the same time. But then when you turn the screen, we have built it so that, for example, the orange brick corresponds with jumping on the mushroom. So you would get, Mario would read this time orange as a mushroom and would make that sound specifically. And we have red for a jump and blue for a Goomba and so on. So you would get these sounds from Mario related to how we have coded it with the colors on the top here. So it's kind of a coding trick we used here, where we have Mario reading the codes that you can then also program in a sense. You could place them.
So the first brick, the one with the code, is just to let know Mario that we are using the TV.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's saying from when you have from Mario when Mario has read this, he knows now the colors mean something. I'm on the TV and I have to make those kind of.
Maybe the mechanism or the NES to be like the original, or
That's definitely, you just point out the two that I wanted to talk about is if you talk about a design challenge to, and again, you play a lot or you build a lot with Lego, right? So you know, there's two things with Lego that could be a challenge. One is to get accurate to something existing, as accurate as you can be. So in this case, it was translating the NES, the controller, the game cartridge, translating that from the real one to Lego as accurate as we could get it. That was definitely a challenge, and we definitely have had a lot of sparring and back and forth with Nintendo because they're super into the details, just as Lego is. But it's very interesting to work with a partner who is so passionate about their brand and about their icons. We really recognized ourselves in how they see their brand and how they're protective about it, but also how they really want to make it shine, and that's what we did together here. So we definitely had a challenge in getting this accurate and then getting the Nintendo to even correct what we thought was accurate with even millimeters on where the letter should be, or millimeters on the controller deck. The controller deck is actually almost 1-to-1, which is great because when you have it in your hands, you immediately find the buttons and feel that it's correct. That was definitely a design challenge from our bricks perspective, where we know how it works. You use only available bricks, so you need to be very, very creative to get to perfection, if that's a good word. But then the other challenge that's definitely in some of the functions. So we have just shown you the screen function, which is one that we tested a lot, and we actually needed a new element for that to actually make it work. There's another cool function inside here where placing the cartridge and I'm pushing it down so it stays down is a function that we also had to experiment a lot with. And again, it's also got tested by a robot. I think it was over 4,000 times pressed up and down just to make sure, when you have it at home, you can do it without it breaking apart. So that's the two challenges. The functions were definitely challenging. Getting the design to very high level, representing the real stuff was the other big challenge.
Okay, and is it there some kind of detail that you are most proud of?
That is a good question. I think it's not like a detail, but it's more something that I find very fascinating, and I would like to tell when I meet other people who know already a lot about Lego. So I'm super proud that we actually managed to, and maybe that's a given because it's a high price point, right? But all the decorations, they're all printed. They're high quality printed. Even the small icon decorations, pixel perfect decorations, including Mario himself. Then we do have, and that I find, that the combination I find really interesting. We do have a sticker actually on the cartridge.
Okay.
And we actually chose to do that not because we wanted to save, but because the original cartridge had a sticker.
As a sticker, okay.
And then we thought we should and it's that amount of detail that we think will make people smile internally, like, oh, that's a specific reason why we chose to do the sticker. And then we had a lot of old NES material that we, from ourselves or from friends or even that we found in the office, and also online, you can see that if you use this cartridge a lot, the sticker will actually scratch from putting it into the control deck. We actually were thinking of actually making the cartridge scratched as if you have played it a million times. We decided not to do that because it looks actually really nice and very original like this. But that was some of the thinking. We had to make it as original and as accurate as possible.
Okay, thank you. The new Lego Super Mario sets are aimed to a younger audience than this one, that this one is more for collectors.
Yes.
It's like a way to convince children and parents to buy both sets and have fun together.
Oh, we definitely think that Mario is super iconic for the kids these days. It's you know, it's still an icon for the youngest kids out there, but it's also an icon for the parents of nowadays, and that's where indeed we think that the these kind of sets for 6+, we do think they will also appeal to the dads and moms who played it back in the days. But it's obviously the play inside it. It's aimed for the younger age. So we do believe that moms, dads, and kids will enjoy that bit, definitely. Also because it is a combination of you know, video playing, but in a physical world with Lego. So we do like that a lot. And then we do think that this, from a building perspective, definitely is going to appeal for the adults. So we aim to get that nostalgia in both products, but of course we have divided this target group specifically to be adults, and that one to be more overall, and then aim at starting with kids.
Okay, thank you. That was like all the question that I have. I think that you also show me something that I really didn't expect. And no, I'm just curious, if is it something that it's, I don't know, clickable? Because I didn't expect really from the cartridge to get stuck inside. It's very, very nice. Is it something? I don't think the buttons are clickable.
Oh, on the control deck? Or,
yes, or also here? To the NES.
No. So
okay.
We again, in the design, and when we tried out in our concept in the sketching area phase, so the very early phase of designing this, we had a lot of different variations, including push buttons, but they didn't deliver. Then we had to compromise on the design, on the look, and it became, we had to make some choices where it was the most impactful, and we thought putting in the cartridge and having it sit down was a very impactful one compared to a button that for the rest besides it doesn't do anything. So we had to make some choices then. But besides the cool build and the design effort we put in there's of course a whole team that does the other stuff, like the packaging and graphic design and the building instruction. I just want to point out that the building instruction is also, I'm quite sure you will enjoy it, even though you've built a lot of Lego already. And then inside there is even some more, and again, that's what we try to do, right, with our specific adult-oriented SKUs. But these three guys are actually the designers, and we have recreated the original NES packaging picture, which you will see in the building instruction here. We have dressed them and set them in a setting, 80s looking, in a specific photo studio to get this on the inside. And they are not having the NES in their hands; they're having the Lego version of it. So they literally recreated the whole thing with Lego instead of the original. Just a small nudge, and again, to say how much actual fun we had with designing this on all levels, not only on the brick level, but also the material around it. So
okay, thank you very much. I really can't wait to put my hands on it, and and I really look forward also to the future, because it's when the first Lego Super Mario came out, I didn't expect to see so soon another product also for collectors like me. So it's really, really exciting.